I'm gonna do a video to show you how I get ready for a small group activity. So I usually use a small group planning form, and I got this from a professional development. If you don't have one, I'm sure you could just ask our coach and she'll give it to you. Or I can email you or figure out how to put it in the description box. I also printed off your period 1 core scores, and I cut off all the information just in case I want to share this video with somebody else. So those are the things that I use when planning a small group activity. So I'm going to skip this stuff, originating idea, that's just what your idea is, materials needed, curriculum content area. Just for an example to show you how it flips out, let's do art, which is X in the curriculum. You're also going to need your core folder or your core assessment book. I don't have one here with me today, so I'm just using core on the computer. Here, so I have it pulled up and I can see like what the example ideas are, like what the levels are. So I'm going to use art, and then I'm going to go here and figure out who my early learners are, who my middle learners are, and who my late learners are. And I do that by using the period 1 score. So I'll go here to X, and then I'll look down. So I have some 4s, a 5, 2, 2, 4, 2, 4. 4, 5, 2, and a 3. So I'm going to put, so let's see, a level 2 is uses art materials to build, make discrete marks, mold, or to flatten. A level 3 uses art materials to notice an unintended result and says what it looks like. 4 makes a simple representation with a few details. And 5 makes a complex representation with many details. So I'm going to put them, so I don't have, I have 4 different levels in here with 4, 5, 2s, 1, 3, and the rest are 4s. So I have 1, 5, 1, 3, the rest are 2s and 4s. So my early learners are definitely going to be the level 2. So what I'll do is I'll put their names here and the next level here. So let's give them, how many do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 level 2s, so I'm going to give them the names John, Jacob, Jingleheimer, Schmidt. Just as an example, if I was really in the classroom, I'd just put their initials. And then the strategy. So I know they can do a level 2. So I'm going to try during this small group activity to get them to a level 3. And that would be uses art materials and notices an unintended result and says what it looks like. And then for strategies, I just wrote 3. You could write the entire level here if you want to. Normally during a small group, I will have my assessment book with me just to look at. And then let's figure out who the middle learners are. So I have level 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 level 4s, 1 level 5, and 1 level 3. So where should I put these guys? I think I'll add a whole extra strategy because I only have 1 number 5 and make them latest learners. So the middle level will be my level 3s. Let's see how many level 3s I have. I have 1 level 3 only. And let's give her the name Sarah. So Sarah can already use art materials, notice an unintended result, and says what it looks like. So let's try to get her to level 4 by make a simple representation with a few details. And then my late learners would be my level 4s. So it looks like most of the class is at a level 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 children at a level 4. So I'll just write their initials here. A, B, C, D, E, F. And then the strategy. I know they can make a simple representation with a few details. I want to try to get them to make a complex representation with many details, which is a level 5. And then for that child who can already be there at a level 5 at period 1, to get them to a level 6, let's write their initials here. Let's give them the name Kristen. And then I want to try to get that child to learn that artistic features connect to feelings. The materials I'm going to use for this activity is Play-Doh and cookie cutters. You could also use rollers and scissors, but I don't have any of that with me today at home. So each child gets their own Play-Doh. And then be intentional about setting out their small group baskets so you know they have materials to help them get to the next level. Also, make sure that you're giving them materials that you know that they're going to be interested in, because you know your children. So, for those early learners, John, Jacob, Jingleheimer, Schmidt, to get them to a level 3 is uses art materials and notices an unintended result. So, going back to our small group time planning form, originating idea is the assessment, so I'm not going to put anything there. The materials needed, Play-Doh, cutters, also scissors and rollers if you have them. So the curriculum content area is X, which is art, the beginning. So this will be when you're passing, before you pass out the small group materials, how are you going to introduce the idea? I would say, I noticed that you guys like to play with the Play-Doh at work time. So today for small group, we're going to play with Play-Doh. And then, so then I would say, I would get out the Play-Doh and I might say, today I'm feeling warm and happy, so I gave everyone yellow Play-Doh because it makes me feel good. And that is like planting a seed in Kristen's head, the latest learner, for connecting features, color, to feelings. So after telling the children about the color, I would start making the Play-Doh and say, squish, squish, squish. Oh, this kind of looks like a Christmas tree. So that is modeling to those early learners using art materials and noticing an unintended result. I didn't plan to make a Christmas tree, but this looks like a Christmas tree. I'm going to add a star on top because it's a Christmas tree. So I'm going to squish it, squish it, squish it. Now my Christmas tree has a star. And then I would intentionally ask one of the middle learners, Sarah, what else could I add to my Christmas tree to make it look more like a Christmas tree? And then I would use their idea. So what if they say, you need to put some ornaments on it? What could I use as ornaments? And if they say, beads, go to the art area and grab the beads and put them on there. And then ask one of those later learners who need to work on making more complex. Okay. So go to the art area and grab the beads and put them on your tree. Follow their idea. Pass out everyone's Play-Doh and say, I wonder what you're going to do today. And as they are working with their materials, go to the early learners and ask them questions about their Play-Doh to try to get them to notice an unintended result. Just describe what they're doing. You know, if a child is flattening it, you could say, I see you pushing your Play-Doh down. I wonder why you're pushing your Play-Doh down. What could that be? And then for the middle learners, try to get them, since they can already notice an unintended result, say, what could you do to make your volcano look even more like a volcano? And see if they can add a few details. And then with those later learners, take their simple representation with a few details and try to get them to add more details by asking open-ended questions. I see that you're making pizza. What kind of things do you like on your pizza? And then if they say pepperoni, what could you use as pepperonis? And then for that latest learner who you're trying to get to identify artistic features with feelings, you could talk about the way that they're pressing their Play-Doh. You could talk about the colors they're using. You could talk about, you could talk about the lines and the texture and how those things relate to feelings. And then at the end of the activity, you would say, when you're all finished with your creation, put it away and it's your turn to plan. And then for follow-up idea, read the story Sophia Gets Angry, really, really angry, because it has words in that book, like the page that's mad, has like sharp lines, and you could talk to that late learner about artistic features and feelings. And then leave the Play-Doh out for them to use at work time. And so that's just how I plan small group time. If you have any specific questions about this form or assessment data, let me know in the comments, and I'll answer it or make a new video. Or if you have any specific small group ideas that you would like me to model, I can do that too. Just let me know.